I just recorded all these and then my computer decided to not cooperate. So I'm going to go bit by bit and record it again. So we're on the other side of page 21. We did area of rectangles over here. We're doing area of parallelograms over here. Now, most of the time when we see a parallelogram, it looks something like this. It looks like somebody stepped on a rectangle and squished it off to one side. But the rules for a parallelogram are that it has to have 4 sides and 2 sets of parallel sides. So in this shape that I've drawn, one set of parallel sides, I drew black lines over, so there's one set, and then the green lines show another set of parallel lines. Now, we talked about this a little in class, but based on those rules, a rectangle is also a parallelogram, right? So we have 4 sides and 2 sets. The purple is one set, and the green is another set of parallel lines, parallel sides. So it makes sense then that the equation for finding the area of a parallelogram is the same as the equation for finding the area of a rectangle, because a rectangle is a parallelogram. And so to find the area is to do base times height or length times width. What is different about that is that with a parallelogram, we oftentimes are not looking at a side length as being the height. And let me just show you. So I'm going to do an example. So I have here, I'm just taking a square sticky note, and a square is a kind of rectangle, but just to be as non-confusing as possible, I cut it into what we think of as a regular looking rectangle. Okay? To find the area of this would be easy peasy. We'd do base times height. Now, if I cut this, I'm going to cut a corner off here, and I'm going to stick it over here. Now I have a parallelogram. This will have, it's the same amount of green paper I just used. I didn't change the area of this. I just changed how it was laid out. So to find the area of this parallelogram is we're going to do base times height. Now what you'll notice is that now the height is not a side length. These sides in a parallelogram, if they're diagonal like that, we don't do anything with them to find area. We need the base and we need the height. So I did my best to draw that out for you right here. Something to notice is if you're thinking, okay, well, how do I tell where the height is? Like what counts as the height and what doesn't? The height has to be at a 90-degree angle from the base. So between the base and the height, there will always be a 90-degree angle. Notice there's also a 90-degree angle up here because this could also be the base and the height. In a rectangle, there's always a right angle between the base and the height. In a parallelogram, we have to draw in a line at a place where there can be a 90-degree angle. And it doesn't matter where I draw that line. I could draw it here, or here, or here. It doesn't matter. The base will always be the same because I'm just measuring. If I was thinking in terms of length and width, here's the length. And the width of this parallelogram doesn't change no matter where I'm measuring. Okay, hopefully if you need more time, you'll pause it. We just talked about this with most parallelograms, you won't use the diagonal side length to calculate area. Okay, if there's a diagonal side length, you're probably not going to use it because that's not going to be the height. The height is going to be something you have to draw in. So let's try, let's cover this up first. So I walked through this one before, but if we had this parallelogram, and often they will give you the length of both side lengths, and they'll give you the height. And they want to know, do you know which 2 numbers you have to use? So to find the area of this parallelogram, I need to do the base, which is 10 feet, times the height, which is 3 feet. That 4 feet side length, that's nice to know, but that has nothing to do with area. So I'm not going to worry about it. I am going to do base 10 times height 3 and get 30 square feet, because remember that area is always expressed in square units. So 30 square feet. I want to leave you with this one to try. This is a parallelogram. We have side lengths of 6 centimeters, 7 centimeters, and a height of 6 centimeters. So calculate what the area is of that one. If you decided to maybe get out a sticky note and replicate what I did with the sticky note, feel free to keep that in here at the bottom of your page. I think it's a good reminder just to remember why they are the same. And that's finding the area of a parallelogram.